Hello everyone, Thempire Ian here with more new cards. We've got the new cards from the new deck build pack, and we know how impactful the last one was, but we also know how impactful the one before that was, so... I mean, they always make the deck build packs good eventually. Well, not all of them, but they... Like, not all the cards in each pack, but from each pack, there's usually one deck where they make it pretty decent eventually, but we'll have to see what we look at when we get to that. First up, we have a V-Jump promo. This is the one they've been teasing. It's a card from one of the video games. It's Heart-Freezing Snow Crystal. Soulicer Crystal. Okay, thank you for giving me the actual name. Soulicer Crystal. A level 6 Aqua effect monster with 300 attack, 900 defense. You only use the first and third effect of this card's name each once per turn. If your opponent controls 2 or more monsters than you do, special summon this card from your hand. Can't be destroyed by card effects. You can target one effect monster your opponent controls to negate its effects. Bad. Okay, moving on. I mean, like, this is just like nothing. It was later it was originally a machine and then later an Aqua monster. Okay. Yeah, it's not good, but who cares? It's a V-Jump promo. It was never going to be good. It's neat that they gave this old... I actually like this art a lot better than I like this, because here it's using the things like hands. I think it's more interesting if they come from that hand region and they're using them like legs. That's crazy. That looks fucked up. This one looks normal, more normal at least, and I don't like that. I think that's kind of lame actually, unfortunately. And then the effect's not very good. It's a bad Cyber Dragon with upside. You know, I guess it's a Pankratops in a way. It's like a bad Pankratops. And that's funny. Is it better or worse than Loyal Longwan? Let me know in the comments. Alright, here's what we're actually looking at though. Dragon Tail from Justice Hunters, which is an interesting name for a set. This is the one that also has like the police furries and the little aliens that are getting the sweets. But this is the most boring one of all of those, I think. Dragon Tail. We'll see. It might be interesting. First up, we have Dragon Tail Lucius. I can't identify the gender, which makes me interested. Very buff. I like that. Earth Spellcaster. Ooh, Spellcaster. Okay. You know, we haven't had like a deck. I mean, this is Dragon Tail, so I assume there's going to be some dragons in here. But we haven't really had like a deck that focused around spellcasters in general. There's been like, there was light spellcasters with White Forest, but like we just haven't had like a generic spellcasters deck in a little bit, I feel like. I guess we got the new Magista stuff coming, but that's not like a new archetype. I want a new archetype that like revitalizes the spellcaster space instead of being like, oh, you're going to play White Forest split off with White Forest. You're not going to do any generic spellcaster stuff. I want more generic spellcaster stuff. I think this is a good step. Level 4. I don't know yet. I have to read the actual stuff. You only use the first and second effect of this card name once per turn. This card is normal special. You can add a Dragon Tail monster from your hit deck or hand, or to your hand, except for Lucius. If this card is sent to the graveyard as the material for a fusion summon, okay, or fusion summoning. You can set one Dragon Tail spell trap from your deck. Okay, so this guy is crazy. If this deck does anything. If this deck does anything, this guy is going to be an ultra rare and is going to be like $50 a pop. This guy is crazy. If the cards do anything. Because it's a search for monsters, it's a search for spell traps. And all it has to do is be used as material for that second one. And the other one is just a normal or special summon. That's pretty easy to do. Hello? Hello, 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 hi, hello, hi. Okay. Hello. Dragon Tail Femena. Water Spellcaster level 5. Okay. You can only use this first second card once per turn. During the main phase, quick effect, you can discard this card, fusion summon a dragon or spellcaster fusion monster from your extra deck generic, using monster from your hand or field as material. Okay, alright. If this card is sent to the graveyard as material for a fusion summon, you can set one Dragon Tail spell trap from your deck. Oh, are they all gonna do that? Oh, are they all gonna do that? Whoa. Oh, and then we have a little beastie. It's got 6 legs. I like when mammals have 6 legs. That's so fucked up. It's also like some sort of weird goat wolf. Dragon Tail Parn, Wind Dragon. Level 7 dragon! Level 7 elemental type dragon. You can only use the first and second of this card name once per turn. If this card is sent to the graveyard as material for a fusion summon, you can set one Dragon Tail spell trap from your deck, then destroy one monster on the field. You know, one thing I'm noticing is that this deck doesn't appear to have any locks in it at all. Not a one. If a face-up fusion monster you control is destroyed by an opponent's card effect while this card is in your graveyard, place this card on the bottom of the deck, and if you do, special summon a non-fusion Dragon Tail monster from your graveyard. Okay, so this is like a slightly worse version of Aluber's revive effect. I can dig it, especially considering that, you know, if it's used for material, you get a pop for free. This one's okay. I think that one's just okay. Dragontail Ulgra. This is another fucked up dog. Fire Dragon, level 6. Okay, not a level 7 this time. Go use the first second. If this card is set the graveyard material for a fusion summon, you can set one Dragontail spell trap for your deck, and you can destroy one spell trap on the field. Okay, alright, so it also gets to set a spell trap. This is the only one that doesn't set a spell trap? Oh wait, no, it does. It does, and then it destroys. Okay, yeah. So it does, and then it destroys, and then this one does, and then destroys a spell trap instead of... Is that one only destroy monsters? Yes. Okay. So they each have a different thing they're going to pop. That's cool. If this card is in your graveyard, you can target one spellcaster Dragon Tail in your graveyard. Places a card on the bottom of the deck, you add the card monster to your hand. Ooh, that's nice. That's real nice. Is that a fusion effect once per turn on her? Yes, it is. Okay. Good to know in that case. This guy looks like shit. I don't like him at all. I don't know. They're trying to do like a ancient style automaton look with him. I don't like it. Dragontail Altharion, Earth Dragon Fusion, level 8, 3000, 2500. Dragontail monster and 1+ monster in the hand. Okay, so this is like, don't you dare use this for Super Poly, but we're going to make it as generic as possible so it's easy to get these out in the field. I get that. I like that. You can only use the first and second of this card per turn. If this card is fusion summon, you can target monsters on the field or in any graveyard up to the number of monsters used material from the hand. Oh wow. Oh wow, that's interesting. Return them to the hand. That's interesting. I like that, but it's to think about that. If 2 or more monsters are sent to the graveyard at the same time while this card is in your graveyard, just put this card but banish it when it leaves the field. Okay, so it's like a bad Masquerade Dragon. It's bad branded. Oh man, this deck is bad branded. Look everyone, it's bad branded. Dragontail Grammel, a water spellcaster. Ooh, they have a spellcaster fusion too. That's cool. I was thinking like all the fusions are going to be dragon. I'm glad there's a spellcaster too. Dragontail monster plus 1 monster in hand. This is not 1+ this time. It's level 7, 2800, 2300. You can only use the first second turn. When you activate a Dragontail card or effect, like any of them, quick effect, you can target one card your opponent controls, destroy it. That's really powerful. And it's once per turn, but still, like just on any Dragontail, you've got to sequence it properly to get it to go off the way you want it to. But yeah, if 2 or more monsters sent to the graveyard at the same time while this card's in your graveyard, especially when this card management leaves the field, and it doesn't. So the thing about these guys is that they don't. Okay, well this one only does one thing when it's it only does something when it's fusion summoned, but this one doesn't lose its effect when it's special summoned from the graveyard by its effect. So this one just gets to come back. It's like better Masquerade Dragon in a way. Okay, this is a... Hold up. Enhance. Is that a... I think they're going for a guy. That's a lot of midriff for a guy. This is the yaoi archetype. Except there's girls in it. Interesting. Ketu Dragontail. Normal spell. Only activate 1 card of this card's name per turn. Add a Dragontail monster from your deck to your hand. Then if your opponent controls a monster, you can use them on a dragon or spellcaster monster from your extra deck. Use a monster from your hand or field as material. Okie dokie. So this is a Rhoda and then it does a fusion. It is not named a fusion spell, which is not important for this deck, but does mean you can't search it with like the Predaplant combo, if that matters at all. I am still noticing that this is completely generic. Like the fusion you make is not generic. It has to be dragon or spellcaster, but nothing else about it is. Like it doesn't lock you at all. Nothing in here locks you at all. And how about this? Rahu Dragontail. It's just like linking Wikipedia. They're like tired of people making fun of them for like including little bits of lore So they're just linking Wikipedia pages instead. Man. You can only activate one card with this card's name per turn. Fusion summon a Dragon Tail. Fusion monster from your extra deck using monster from your hand deck or field. Whoa! But you... Oh! But, okay. But also you can't special summon the extra deck for the rest of the turn after this card resolves except fusion monsters. For the rest of the turn after this card resolves. Better branded fusion! Hey! All the branded fusion enjoyers! You can play a different deck now! My branded players rejoice. You have a new deck to play. You can play this instead. It's got spellcasters and dragons, and it does fusions from the deck, but it doesn't lock you for the whole turn. It only locks you after you use this card. We can play something different now. Isn't that cool? I mean, you can't super poly is the thing. Like, you can't super poly in this deck. So what's the point? Okay, let's get back to it. The trap cards: Dragon Tail Horn, normal trap. You can only activate one card with this card's name per turn. Target one attack precision monster, return it to the hand extra deck. Then you can place one Dragon Tail card from your graveyard or banishment on the bottom of the deck, except for this, draw a card. Alright, so this gets you your monsters back in the hand, so you can use them for material for fusions, since the fusions do require material in hand. This deck really is like, how can we make people use material in hand for fusion summons, right? They're just like really trying to get you to do that. And I don't know if I'm going to. I don't know, the deck seems fine, and it doesn't lock you at all, so you can like, you can do some funky stuff. It dislocks you. Now we have exactly one card that locks you, but it doesn't lock you until you activate it. So I do like how simple the text is, though. It's like, it's very there's not a lot of wordiness here. It's very nice, elegant. Dragon Tail Flame, normal trap. You can only activate one card with this card's name per turn. Target one face-up spell in the field, negate its effects until the end of the turn. Then you really face-up spell in the field, negate its effects. Interesting. Then you can place one Dragon Tail card from your graveyard or banishment on the bottom of the deck, except for this, draw a card. Okie dokie. What was the other one? Just bounce a monster, an attack position monster specifically. So these are the cards you're theoretically setting, or getting with the effects of your monsters. Did they set them to the field? Did they all set them to the they all set them to the field? Yeah, okay. I was like, do some of them add to hand? No, they all set to field. Okay. These are good, but how good are they? That's my question now. I think these are good, but my question is, how good are they? Spellcaster Dragon. Dragon's really easy. There's a lot of dragon stuff. There's a lot of fusion stuff. I think these are all elemental rather than typed. No light or dark ones. So I'm not actually sure they really synergize with branded. So I don't think you would want, and especially because branded's such a crowded deck anyways, I don't think you have room for something like this. So they really are kind of on their own. But of course you can use the some of the branded staples, like your super polymerization. Except you can't make any of their fusions with super polymerization, which is pretty annoying. But in that case, do you even want to use super poly? I mean, like, super poly is a good card. You might want to use it anyways. But like, you don't gain any. This like deck doesn't gain anything from doing that. And instead of doing that, you could do like a link package. Although this deck doesn't really seem to have a lot of link clang potential. Like, this guy is your normal summon. There's only 3 of him. He's your normal summon. And then you've got card that wants to be fusion material. I guess this card doesn't even want to be fusion material. This card wants to be discarded. This card is weird because this card wants to be discarded to be a fusion, to like do a fusion, and also wants to be fusion material. But I guess I don't know. These cards definitely want to be fusion material. They don't do anything other than be fusion material, which is like I don't know if I want to play them in that case, right? We only got one. We got two searchers. We have the normal summon, who is a searcher, and we have the spell card, Dragon Kedu, which is a spell searcher or a monster searcher, and also does a fusion summon. If the opponent controls a monster, it does. So wait, does this deck have a 1-card combo at all? I'm realizing this. Because, like, you summon Lucius, you grab Vimena, I guess. Because, like, the other ones don't do anything. So you have to grab Vimena because it's the only one that does anything. You grab Vimena effect, you need to have a monster in hand. Any monster, so it could be any of your non-engine, at least. If it includes any of your non-engine, I feel like that's probably fine. You're going to have the same odds as, like, Winda in Speedroid, where it's like, yeah, Winda needs to discard a wind monster, but, like, there's so much wind non-engine that you can just run a bunch of that and have like a 99% chance of hitting it, an almost 100% chance of hitting it. So I guess there's that. It's like not a 1-card combo, but it's like not a 1-card combo either. And then you use Lucius as material, or you don't. Maybe you use something else as material. And then you can make one of the fusions, and then you can also use the effect of Lucius to set something, or whatever you do. Actually, I'm kind of conceiving of like a package here now, like 3 Lucius, 1 Vimena to search off of Lucius, probably 3 of Kitu just to get to Lucius easier, and then like one of the traps. I don't know which one. Probably Horn. I feel like Flame is okay if you're playing Dragon Tail as a deck. I think it's fine to include, but if you're playing Dragon Tail as a package, I think you just want Horn. It's like really specific, but it does bounce and then draw a card, and that's fine. I feel like negating a face-up spell trap is so niche as to not be particularly playable. Like, obviously, any spell that is activated is a face-up spell on the field, so you can just do it on that. But then it's like, okay, yeah, you negate. It's like it just becomes a spell negate in that case. It's like really good against continuous spells and field spells, and like good against regular spells, which I guess they aren't sticking around on the field anyways. But I mean, maybe you include that one instead. I don't know. Just like a spell negate is good, I guess. Maybe it's better than a monster bounce. I don't know. I could go either way on that one now that I'm thinking about it more. But yeah. So basically what I'm conceiving of is like 3 Lucius, one Vimena. You completely ignore these guys because they suck balls. You ignore this guy too because he does not seem. I mean, his on summon effect is okay. Maybe you play one of him to like go into at later turns, but you play Grammel. I think is going to be your turn 1 play, because then it turns your traps into a pop as well. Although don't do that. Don't do that if you're using the spell negate and you're using it on a spell, because then it will not be on the field to negate its effects. So that's like a thing you could do with this. How much? And that's like 7 slots in your deck. 3 of the guy, 3 of the searcher, 3 and 1 of the search target. And then 1 slot in the extra deck. Like that's genuinely And then all it requires is just a card, a monster in hand you don't mind losing. And honestly, that's not bad. That's really not bad. This is like an interesting little engine. The thing that's holding me back on like saying it's a good engine is that it doesn't do very much. It kind of only does a little bit, right? The Grammel gives a little pop, and it comes back to the field a lot. But like once you use up the trap, it no longer has a pop because you need to activate a Dragon Tail card to get the pop. Maybe you can run Altharion as well, and then get Altharion on the field, and he can bounce, and then you can pop again. That could be something. And then like these trap cards are only okay if you're using them like taken on their own. They're only okay. I don't know. I certainly think this is a very promising first wave, and I think the second wave could do a lot to make this very playable, as has happened to several other deck build packs. Like this is not. I don't think this is Ryzial strong. I don't think this is Malice strong. But I think this is like at least Rescue Ace strong. This is something that like could see some amount of play as an engine in some other decks right now, and given support later could do something a lot better, or it could flounder if it doesn't get anything. Well, actually, no. I think Rescue Ace really needed Emergency. Now that I think about it, so maybe it's more like a Memento, maybe. Memento was like fine. Well, no, the Memento needed the second wave as well. Well, I guess it's better than all that. So, but it's still less than. I think it's still less than Ryzial. I think this is like playable off the bat, just like not as strong as Ryzial or Malice, especially not on its own. And I think there's a potential for it to be in a package, but that's about it. As far as I can tell right now. It just needs more cards. It needs better cards than these guys. I think these guys stink on ice. Like they're just awful. Wait a minute. Hold up. I just realized Rahu Dragon Tail. It lets you fusion summon a Dragon Tail fusion monster for using monster from hand, deck, or field as material. But these motherfuckers need material in hand. I mean, all you have to do is have a monster in hand, and you can use a Dragon Tail from the deck. But that's a really annoying thing I hadn't thought about and wanted to point out there. So it's not just like, it's not branded fusion fully. You don't get to have both material pulled from the deck because the material on the monsters requires them to be in hand. At least somewhat. But it literally just does say monster. It could be literally any monster at all. So it's not a huge deal. But it does seem, though, if you have like a critical mass of Dragon Tail cards, you'd get more advantage off of that. So maybe that's so that they're trying to, like, you can play this as a package, but we really like you to try and play it as a deck itself, and maybe build it after we print the support in another set. So you have to buy that set too. Yeah. Yeah. I don't know. This is it's neat. I think these cards are neat. They're interesting. I think those are some interesting ideas to play around with. You can weave these into other decks. If I'm remembering correctly, hold up. Ooh, I did it in time this time. I managed to do it in time so you didn't get flashbanged. There we go. Hold up. There's like a oh, this is not gonna be okay. I know how to do this actually. If I go this way and I select Ixies, there's a Time Star, right? Dark Spellcaster. Never mind. Time Star only searches dark spellcasters. I was like, there's a way to search spellcasters, right? Yes, there is, but only dark spellcasters, and we don't have one of them. Okay. Well, never mind on that. And the thing is that, like, oh yeah, there's so much dragon support you could use too. These dragons fucking suck. So I'm not like, these cards are terrible. They're only, I feel like they're only good. Like you play, maybe if you're playing this deck pure or like as a deck itself instead of an engine, you play like one each of these to get their effects when you fusion summon. But then it's not repeatable then. Well, that's not entirely true. Because they place themselves on the bottom of the deck. They're literally designed to be used as like fodder for these fusions that then do things when you use them. So I think just one each of them. And they're like designed to be used that way, yeah. As long as you can get these secondary effects off, you can recycle them and then use them for fusion again. And there should be a way to get and you can get Rahu Dragontail back in the deck too, and Ketu Dragontail as well, with the effects of the traps. I actually wonder if you want to go up on traps. Like I was kind of originally conceiving this as like one trap each, but the fact that traps recycle is actually really interesting. And you know, if you want to have repeatability, these decks, you know, these cards are going to want to have more things to set. Yeah, I could see that. And you know, honestly, I could see this kind of being a like a little bit of a control-y kind of deal. You want to play a lot of traps, and then you have more traps that can activate the effect of what's her face, the Grammel, and then like every time you fusion summon another card, you can get these fuckers back to the field. And like this guy doesn't do anything when you do, but he just has a big attack stat. And then this guy does do something, and she has a pretty big attack stat too. Okay, yeah, I'm seeing the vision a little bit. I think these are interesting. I don't know if they're good enough. I would maybe say that they'd be good enough. I would be willing to consider the possibility, I should say, not fact, the possibility that they're good enough to compete in the current meta, if not for the fact that Ryziel and Malice are both getting new waves of support that are really pretty good. I don't think Ryziel's is like a huge difference maker, but I think it's going to put it up ahead enough to kind of edge out something like this. And Malice's stuff is just crazy, just insane. So yeah, and then there's the new Blue Eye structure decks coming soon as well. And like even then, like I think the new stuff that Malice and Ryziel are getting might be enough to outpace Blue Eyes as well, because I think Blue Eyes is only kind of in there. It's definitely in there for sure, but like I think between the three of them, unless we see a significant hit to Ryziel and Malice in the near future, I feel like the new wave of support coming for both of those is going to put them above and beyond what Blue Eyes is capable of. And then where does this leave Dragontail, right? I don't know. I've yapped about this for long enough, I think. Let me know what you think down below, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye. Hey there, thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. Got a lot more for you if you want them. Just hit that subscribe button and ring the bell to get notifications. I'd also appreciate if you left me a like and a comment, maybe share the video around with your friends. You can also follow me on all usual social media sites. Just check out my website in the description below for more info. My videos are funded by my patrons and YouTube members, whose names you'll see scrolling by in these credits here. For just $1 a month, you too could find yourself here, trapped in my end screen for all eternity. In particular, I'd like to thank Haru Hayes, Fleakill, Frog Prince Michael, Jeremy Coatney, the Almighty Ferret Lord, and Fire Mizuni. A big thanks to all my other patrons and unto my little community as a whole. Remember to be kind to yourselves, be kind to others, and have a wonderful whatever time it is for you. Bye-bye!